Hey everyone, it's Randy Moss from Randy Moss Wellness, and today I wanted to talk about what to do when intuitive eating no longer feels like freedom. So my experience was I went on about 5 bazillion diets over the course of my life, always kind of trying to find the one. Like the one that was gonna give me the perfect glowing skin and the perfect body and the perfect energy and the perfect, most vibrant, magical health so that I could be like, look like I was walking off the cover of Yoga magazine. And so that was my thing. It was this sort of like idealized, ethereal beauty, and I thought that the perfect diet was gonna get me there. So it was this constant searching for the perfect diet. And if you want loads more details on that, you can see my other video on healing binge eating and my weight loss journey. But for today, I wanted to talk about intuitive eating, because intuitive eating was one of the biggest keys to healing my obsessive relationship with food, my extremely disordered relationship with my body, and binge eating and all of that. So I got into intuitive eating after all of that, and it was amazing. I had been on strict diets for as long as I could remember, and all of a sudden I could eat whatever I wanted, whenever I wanted. And this is generally where I've noticed intuitive eating stops for people. So, and it's a beautiful, beautiful part of the journey to just sort of let go of the rules and eat what you want without judgment. Like no judgment of myself. I'm gonna see what my body does and just enjoy it. Enjoy food, enjoy being alive, no guilt, no shame, just pleasure and ease. And it was really the first time I could remember having that with food and in my body. So I was like, I have found the holy grail. I'm doing fine. I put on a little weight, but I had planned for that. I was truly just free around food, not looking at any food as good, any food as bad, and having like the time of my life as far as food was concerned. And considering how much time and mental space that food took up, it really was kind of like the time of my life. And I was finally able to focus on other things. Like I wasn't so hyper focused on food anymore, and I could actually really dive into the meditation practice that I had so long wanted to be able to focus on, and a variety of other things. So after some time of just eating whenever I wanted, I wasn't overeating anymore, I wasn't binge eating anymore, it was free and easy breezy until it wasn't. And at some point, my body started talking to me, and it started developing some symptoms that were very, very uncomfortable. I developed some joint pain, my skin got really flaky and dry, I was puffy, I was constipated, like gross. And it's funny, I don't think I realized actually even how bad I felt until I looked back, and I woke up feeling awful, and my head was foggy, and I had very little focus, and I was sad. Oh my God, I was sad. A lot of the reasons that I had gotten into very clean eating, if you want to call it that, in the first place were coming back. So particularly the sadness for no reason was getting to me, and I was like, I cannot live this way, but I also don't want to go back to rigid meal plans and trying to tightly control my body. And this is something that I have seen that comes up over and over again, where people are like, well, intuitive eating doesn't work. I need to go back to a diet plan because clearly my body doesn't know what it wants. However, I think this is where we get lost, is that if we stop here, we have to realize that we're not actually eating intuitively. Just because we're eating whatever, just because I'll speak for myself, just because I was eating whatever I wanted whenever I wanted it, I wasn't really considering who I was when I was going into this. And looking back, I've now realized that the part of me that was eating was the sort of, the child who had been told she couldn't have this or that, or the scared part of me, or the part of me that had felt shamed and restricted for being a certain size. Like this part of me was coming out and rebelling and doing whatever the hell she wanted to do. And it was not in my body's best interest. And so my body was speaking. And what I had to come to was, okay, I'm no longer eating for how I want to look. I'm no longer eating to look perfect or to, be the example of the healthy one at work or whatever it is that was coming from this outside in. I was needing to eat from the inside out, as in, how do I want to feel? So I had to get really clear, and I think that if we're stuck in intuitive eating land, I had to get really clear on how I wanted to feel and then eat in a way that supported that. So I wanted to feel free, and I wanted to feel light, and I wanted to look at all of my body's symptoms and not just stuff them down with a pill, but be like, hey, what's going on here? I wasn't experiencing this pain. Now I'm experiencing this pain. What are you not liking? And so that's when I began to experiment. The other big realization was that I was not eating intuitively, and I became aware of these different parts of myself. So intuition is a much bigger part of us. We get intuitive hits of knowing. Intuition is a knowing that, yes, this is my next step. Yes, this is right for me. Where we're often eating from is our instinct, which can be a beautiful thing, and it's also just as instant, as immediate, but often our instincts are programmed with a lot of fear and a lot of shame. And whatever our instincts are being developed as we are, I keep looking at myself, which is such a weird natural thing to do when you have a camera here. We're eating from our instincts. It's instinctual eating that we're doing, but our instincts are kind of wrapped up in this funny way that we eat now with all of this packaged food, which again, I'm not saying is bad. I do think that all foods need to be looked at as neutral. However, they do have effects on the body, effects on our experience in the body. So we are instinctually programmed a certain way. So we are instinctually eating rather than intuitively eating, which is why it can end up causing so much pain and why we think, oh, my body doesn't, like, it leads me down the wrong path. It's not trustworthy. I can't listen to it. The amazing news is there is a world in between our instincts and our intuition that is our intelligence, our intellect, and we are capable of reprogramming our instincts. So that means getting to know all of the scared parts of us, getting to know the parts of us that have these knee-jerk reactions, getting to know the parts of us that turn again and again to choices that don't feel good, that choose foods maybe for nostalgic or emotional reasons over and over, even though those choices have proven to hurt. So it's about getting to know those parts of us, allowing those parts of us to feel safe and heard so that we can make choices that actually feel good. And so then I like to move people from intuitive eating to just eating to feel good. Just eating to feel good, whatever that means to you. And know that the external follows the internal. So if you're wanting to lose weight, or if you're looking in the mirror and thinking this isn't what I want to see, the external follows the internal. So focus on the internal. If we eat to feel good and we're feeling wonderful and vibrant, the outside will reflect that, but it may come a little bit later. So just be patient with that piece of us. The inside out approach is far more sustainable than the outside in approach. So the outside in being manipulate my body, diet, force, control. The inside being listen to my body, respond to what it's saying, engage with it like you're in a relationship. That's going to create something beautiful on the inside and on the outside. So I hope that was helpful. I hope that cleared up any confusion. If you have been struggling with this whole intuitive eating thing, if you think my body doesn't know what it wants, your body does know. But it may not actually be your body that's running the show, or there may be some fear and some old emotional stuff that needs to be looked at and loved and brought out into the light. If you have any questions, please post them below. I have an audio program that I'd love to share with you. It's called The #1 Key to Healing Binge Eating. And I know we didn't talk specifically about binge eating in this program, but I have noticed, and this was true for me, that a lot of people that come to intuitive eating come to it in an attempt to heal their binge eating or their obsessive dieting. So if this is you, this course is for you, this class is for you, and the link to that will be posted below. If you have any questions, I already said this, let me know. I hope you guys are having a beautiful day, a beautiful week, and there is more to come.